Deep inside the Chambal ravines of Madhya Pradesh is the village of Bateshwar. The village is home to an ancient Hindu temple complex of 200 odd temples which were mostly a pile of rubble until recently. The ruins, which were once majestic temples, was built sometime between the 8th and the 10th centuries AD during the reign of the Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. Though it was declared as a protected monument by the Archaeological Survey of India way back in 1924, none were willing to even visit the site to carry out conservation work. That's because the Chambal Valley is infamously known as a den of dacoits, and Nirbhay Singh Gurjar, one of the most powerful and notorious dacoit, had made the temple ruins his home. As lawlessness gripped the entire region, it made it impossible for anyone to visit the site. But things changed in the mid-2000s when ASI archaeologist KK Mohammed was posted in Madhya Pradesh. He figured that if he had to restore the temple, he would have to befriend Gujjar and work with the dacoits. And so he began sending them messages through intermediaries requesting them to provide access. After making Gujjar understand that all he intended to do was restore the temple, Muhammad and his team were given a safe passage to the site, and Gujjar agreed to shift his base to some other location. When Muhammad and his team landed on the site was a sight of sorrow. Like a broken jigsaw puzzle with pieces scattered across, the temples were in ruins and the rubbles were scattered all over. In one of the temples, a tree had grown through the sanctum sanctorum, destroying it completely. Muhammad and his team, which included some locals, began restoring the temple. As the project had Gujjar's blessings, the restoration work went on without any hassles. Muhammad and his team were able to identify the deity to which the original temple may have been dedicated. Apparently, Gujjar himself visited the site incognito and was elated to see the progress being made. One evening, when Muhammad was surveying the work, he spotted a man sitting outside a temple smoking a bidi. He went up to the man and objected to his disrespecting of the temple. One of the locals working for Muhammad rushed to him to let him know who he was speaking to. Having realized that he was facing Gujjar, he sat down at his feet and explained to him about the work done to restore the temple so far. He told Gujjar that it was only because of him that they made this much progress. He also explained to Gujjar the significance of his name, hinting that he could be a descendant of the once glorious dynasty. This meeting between Muhammad and Gujjar became a watershed moment. Gujjar agreed to vacate his base immediately and move elsewhere with just one condition, that he be allowed to worship at the Hanuman temple, which he and his gang do before every dacoity. Muhammad agreed and told him that they left the site by 6 p.m. anyway. With Gujjar moving away, Muhammad was now able to safely bring masons from faraway Chanderi who could truly elevate the quality of the restoration. But the law caught up with Gujjar soon and he was shot dead. But the real trouble came only now. The dacoits had managed to keep the stone quarrying and mining mafia at bay. Emboldened by Gujjar's absence, the stone quarrying and mining mafia became a threat to the site. They began mining around Bateshwar using dynamites, causing some of the painfully restored temples to crumble again. Muhammad's fervent appeals to the then state government and central government fell on deaf ears. Muhammad later sought the help of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. In doing so, Muhammad risked his own career, as a government officer is not allowed to take the help of a private organization. After much struggles, the mining mafia was put off with the authorities intervening. Today, over 80 temples have been restored to their former glory and work is on to restore the rest. Bateshwar today is a fascinating blend of pristine small temples set amongst a scatter of ruins.